It'll be an NBA record margin of victory for the Grizzlies tonight.
As of recording this video, what I've seen the day prior was historical. Never before seen. I mean, I wasn't the only one freaking out about this, guys. Stats nerds all over the world were giddy when seeing the statistics that followed this marvelous game. Now, if you're Josh Giddey, I mean, this is the worst possible game you could be a part of. But fortunately for him, he didn't play this game and might have been part of the reason why they lost by a whopping 73 points. Oh my goodness. This is the largest margin of victory in NBA history, and it really has featured a lot of franchise records for the Grizzlies, and one of them being the highest single game plus minus rating for a player. Not only that, but that player ended up also having the third single highest plus minus rating in NBA history for any team, for any game. So who is that player? Who is that marvelous player? That must have had a lot to do with their victory. Ja Morant didn't play, so it leaves him out of the box. It was not Dillon Brooks, believe it or not. Jaren Jackson Jr. did score the highest points in the game, but it wasn't him as well. They took care of business so quickly that he had to have been subbed out at that time. So who was it? Was it some random player? A veteran perhaps? No, it was a rookie. As a matter of fact, this was his 11th career game in the NBA, and his name goes by Santi Aldama, yes. And I'll be honest with you guys, before this game aired, I never heard of this guy's name in my life. I didn't know who he was until I looked into him. And boy, am I grateful for doing that, because he turns out to be a very interesting guy and a very interesting prospect at that, okay? So first, we have to talk about where he's from. He's from Spain. The Grizzlies have had experience with Spanish players, namely Marc and Pau Gasol respectively. And both of those guys turned out to be very excellent players, with both of them having illustrious careers at the center position in the NBA, and naturally it was players like Marc and Pau Gasol that fellow countryman Aldama looked up to. And like the Gasol brothers, he's pretty tall as well, reaching in at 6'11 with a 7'2 wingspan. It's no secret that he has good genetics, as he has a father standing at 7 feet with the same name, which by the way is short for Santiago, and he ended up playing in the 1992 Olympics for Spain. He had the privilege of playing against the Dream Team, and this is how it started. Oh, that was very tough to watch. He got bodied by David Robinson and Patrick Ewing. It was just such a lopsided defeat. I mean, the score pretty much says it for itself.
Bruh. Dude, what the fuck?
But on a serious note though, it is a pretty cool experience to have, and to know that he was the father of Santi Aldama, who's currently in the NBA. That's pretty good genetics, and it's pretty good to have somebody with that much experience. Also, mind you, he also had an uncle from his mother's side that was pretty tall as well, playing at the center position as well, who also played pro basketball in Spain and Italy and Portugal. Yeah, so his family, he's got really nice genetics, man, I'm telling you. Now, the NBA rookie, he did play in Spain at the FIBA U18 championships, and he did win gold, yes, and not only that, but he was the MVP of the tournament. He was pretty fantastic. He averaged a whopping 18 points a game, 7.6 rebounds per game, and 2.29 blocks a game. I mean, this dude could do it all on the court. And this would follow suit when he moved to the USA rather than playing for a Spanish team, when he enrolled in Loyola, Maryland to play at the college level. He averaged 15 points a game in his first season with 1.7 blocks a game, 0.9 steals, 2.1 assists, 7.6 rebounds. You know, not bad stats, but you know, he's playing very much lower competition, and there's not really much to take from the season. He only played 10 games and started 9 games because he had an injury and had knee issues throughout the season. But his sophomore season is where things really picked up. He averaged a whopping 21.2 points a game now, with 10.1 rebounds a game, 1.7 blocks, just like last year, but then he has 1 steals a game, and then he has his shooting improving from all facets. I mean, he shoots from 21% from deep to 36% from deep to 45% field goal to a 51% field goal overall to a free throw percentage of 51% in his first year to 68.6% in his second year. I mean, the improvements are just staggering, and at that point you could tell that this man was going places.
Look at the bottom, only player in D1 averaging at least 20 and 10 rebounds and a block plus per game on the season.
This man really was doing it all on all facets, and the scouting report, if you read it, it's pretty much all over the place. His strengths are numerous, but his weaknesses are pretty glaring, as his free throw shooting was pretty miserable at 68.6% in his second season, and you have him not being that athletic for a 6'11" guy, and you know that could be cause for concern, as you have a guy now facing much tougher competition in the NBA. But he had raw talent, and really the best thing he could do is go to a team that would help him develop his skills and potentially become a star. And he did get drafted, fortunately for him, and many experts expected him to be drafted in the late second round. Some experts even said he was going to be undrafted. Oh boy, were they wrong, because the Memphis Grizzlies really surprised everybody when in the first round, 30th pick, they decided to pick Santi Aldama from Spain and from Loyola, Maryland. I mean, from everything I could see online of people talking about it at the time, people thought this was like the biggest mystery of the draft, potentially even the biggest steal of the draft. People weren't so sure if he was going to translate well to the NBA level, and so the expectation is for him to mostly play in the G League, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna hold up this season, as you know, this one game that he had, very excellent game. He did score 18 points, he did get double-digit rebounds, a double-double for him, but they did play a Thunder team that quite frankly has been struggling to beat the Rockets, and they didn't even have their best players Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey. And obligatory trigger warning alert: if you are an OKC Thunder fan, I advise you to watch this video with caution. I am going to proceed to roast your franchise, and because the last couple of months have not been so kind to you, and so I must do the honors. And so for that reason, viewer discretion is strongly advised. Alright, let's get into it, guys. Okay, Thunder, you guys have been losing games by a lot lately. It's downright sad, honestly. And let's just say the offense wasn't really there for the Thunder, and the Grizzlies really had a green light to go inside the paint on the defense, as they outscored the entire Thunder team in the paint. As a matter of fact, they scored more points in the paint that the Thunder scored in the game. Not only that, the bench scored more points in the game than the Thunder did as a team. And so it was really a blowout, and it was just a murder at that point. I'm not just referring to the game they played against the Grizzlies. I'm actually talking about another game that I'm pretty sure OKC fans remember very vividly. If you don't, allow me to violate your brains and refresh your memories of this horrific, traumatic event. Now, OKC playing at home against the Pacers. They ended up losing by a whopping 57 points. This is the largest road win for a team in NBA history. Okay, this happened in April of 2021. Yes, this happened in the same calendar year. So you have a team losing by the most points on the road, and then a team losing by the most points at home. So it's just crazy that both of those things happened in the same year, and there's only been 3 games where a team lost by over 50 points, and obviously 2/3 of the games being the Thunder. It's downright hilarious. It just goes to show you that the rebuilding process has not been kind to you guys, and Sam Presti, you better hurry the hell up, because I don't think many fans are happy right now with the way the Thunder have been playing and have been deliberating with the rebuilding process. I'm pretty sure they would rather go back to the days where the Thunder eked out a win in the 7-game series against the Grizzlies to make it to the Western Conference Finals in 2011. Just to add more salt, you guys have had the second and third worst single game plus minus for a player. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, never heard of this guy before this game. Lou Dort, that's a shame to see, man. Fellow Canadian, I'm pretty disappointed. But that's not all though. Isaiah Roby had the 4th worst single game plus minus, and it wasn't even the game that happened yesterday. It was a game that he played against the Portland Trailblazers on April 3rd of 2021. I mean, what's going on with the Thunder, man? You guys just keep getting on this list. Oh yeah, we're not done, by the way. Trey Mann also had the 6th worst plus minus in a single game with minus 47 right here, with the same game being against Memphis. Oh no, you guys think I'm done, right? The 7th worst plus minus, Theo Maledon, same game against the Portland Trailblazers on April 3rd. And guess what? He is tied with the 7th worst plus minus ever with Russell Westbrook. I mean, that's just good company, isn't it? OKC, I mean, you guys drafted him. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty happy about that. Russell Westbrook. You guys still love him, right? Okay, I have to apologize to you Thunder fans. That was really harsh of me to do. Now, in order to make up for it, I suggest you watch this video where I talk about KD's clutch playoff run in 2012. Just an amazing run. One of the best runs individually in the history. So yeah, go and relive the experience like I did. It's fun. I bet you'll love it. Bye bye.